Michelle Pogmore. I want to give a big thanks to the always awesome Four-Wing Sweepa for finding 6 great Australian cases for this channel to highlight, and I wanted to say a huge thank you for this. Michelle was just 14 on February 20th, 2004. She was last seen leaving a street party in the town of Bidwell, which is located in New South Wales, which is a suburb of Sydney, Australia. She had left the party around 9 p.m. that night, wearing a dark blue hoodie that said USA on the front. She was wearing white pants and new shoes. Michelle had been having a hard time. She was a good kid, but she had begun to act out. Those who knew her described her as being a smart girl who stood out to everyone who met her. She was kind and engaging. She also enjoyed hanging out with older girls, and that, in part, may have led to her demise. Months later, Michelle had been attacked in a way that I'm not allowed to detail on YouTube. Her attacker was between 50 and 60, and not somebody she knew. It was so brutal, she ended up spending days in the hospital after the attack. While she was already a little bit of a rebel before, the emotional trauma of this event led to her acting out further. Michelle had been struggling in the community, and while community service organizations and the local police had been in contact with her many times, they were unable to fully reach her and help her turn around what had been going on. As she began running around with the older girls, other people involved in her cases through the social services network were trying so hard to turn everything around. Also, in light of her assault, they maintained they were still trying to identify her attacker. Unfortunately, no progress was made on this, and Michelle was having such a hard time dealing with what was going on. There is no question that she went to a party that Friday night. She was caught on surveillance video, but her mother had no idea this was her plan. In fact, she went missing the day before. Her mother told the police there was no indication she planned to run away, so it's likely this was a short-term plan for Michelle. She told her mother she was heading off to the mall to shop, but she never returned. There is no indication where she was before she attended a party in Bidwell, and she didn't take any of her belongings with her. If the police located anyone she was with that night, it hasn't been released. 2 days passed before she was found on a Sunday in bushland near the town center reserve in Mount Druitt, which is a suburb very close to Bidwell, where she lived. There's no way to pinpoint her exact time of death. It was between the time she went missing and when she was found. The police believe it's possible that whoever had her kept her for a day or two. Because of YouTube rules, I always struggle to say what was done without specifically actually saying what was done. Suffice it to say, she was unclothed from the waist down. Her missing clothes have never been found, nor have her new shoes that she was wearing that day. The party she had gone to wasn't of the teenage variety either. It should have been safe. It was an event organized by a youth outreach program. It came out later that Michelle got into a fight at that party with an undisclosed person, leaving in anger. From the time she disappeared from the party and the surveillance, no witnesses came forward at all. One account states that there was DNA from the guilty party. However, if it is true, there's no indication why that DNA hasn't been run. The police have not said publicly if they think the same person was responsible for both crimes. The coroner's ruling wasn't overly helpful, as it indicates the cause of death could have been an accident, which personally seems ridiculous to me, given most of her clothes were missing. There is a $100,000 reward in Australian dollars for information leading to the conviction of her assailant, which is about $73,000 US. If you have any information at all on this case, please call the number on your screen. Lee Ellen Stace. Lee Ellen Stace was just 16 and she lived in Broomshead, New South Wales, Australia. Broomshead is a village that is surrounded by a national park off the coast of the Northern Rivers region of New South Wales. Lee Ellen had started her first job at a local supermarket in the nearby town of Yamba. A week later, on September 2nd, 1997, she had left her job and her co-workers believed she was heading home. However, Lee Ellen never arrived. She was reported missing, and it sparked a huge search of the surrounding area near her Broomshead home. Family, friends, and the community all came together in hopes of finding her, but their hopes came crashing down when her remains were found October 17, 1997, in a shallow grave in the nearby national park. A coroner for New South Wales came out swinging in 2009, blaming the police for entirely dropping the ball on this case. The coroner made a point that the case had been dormant for long periods of time without any real effort to find her killer. He went on to say the inquest into her death took 12 years to complete, and no inquest should take 12 years unless there's an extensive movement on the case. In 2009, some suspects were named, and the coroner finally recommended that the case be referred to a local homicide squad for further investigation. A $1 million reward was eventually announced sometime around 2007. Despite the referral and possible suspects, the case is still open, and no one has ever been arrested for taking Lee Allen's life. Anyone with any information on this case should call Crime Stoppers. There is a $1 million reward listed. The reward can be provided to anyone who has information that leads to the arrest and conviction of the person or persons responsible for Lee Allen's death. Lee Allen's case has gone unsolved for 24 years. Lee Allen was just 16 years old when this happened. If she lived, she would be 40 years old today. That's it for today. Thank you everyone so much for watching and listening. Please take a moment to like and subscribe if you haven't already. We have new episodes every Monday and Thursday. Thursdays are always dedicated to John and Jane Doe cases. Take care of yourselves and each other.